My name is Dr. Stanley Hobish. I have been doing this show for many years. I have written this wonderful story for my grandchildren that I have played many times on WOR, WGBB, and down in Florida on WSB, and people love this story. And I don't know where it came from, but it did not come from me. It came through me. And I'm going to share it with you now. Long, long ago, before the beginning of time, there lived an exquisitely beautiful princess. Her name was Sophia. Her grandfather, the good King Humble, loved her very much. He had given her everything you could imagine, even things you could not imagine. For example, she had dolls to play with that were as real as other children. She had a dollhouse as big as a castle with 40 rooms to play in. She had a pony that could talk. She had a tricycle that could fly. When good King Humble heard about the fact that something was terribly wrong, Princess Sophie, as she was affectionately called by her grandfather, was miserable. She cried constantly. Her tears caused all who were with her. It caused them to cry also. Her friends, her parents, her dolls, and even her pony too cried constantly. Well, when good King Humble heard about it, he came rushing to her. He swept her up in his arms, and he said, "For heaven's sake, Sophie, what is wrong? Is there something I haven't given you? Please tell me, as I cannot bear for you, whom I love more than life itself. I just can't bear that, for you to be that unhappy." Sophie stopped the torrent of tears, just long enough to blurt out sobbing, "I am bored." Good King Humble scratched his head, stroked his beard, and said, "This looks like a problem for the Wizard of Iz." So he called his willing servants to make preparations for the journey to see the wizard who lives beyond time. They harnessed the 4 horses, Lichten, Sounden, Namen, and Nectar, to the chariot Verity that would carry them to see the wizard, whose destination is beyond time. The very idea of going to see the wizard made Sophie stop crying momentarily, and she and her grandpa sang, "Let's go see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Iz. The wizard is here, the wizard is now, the wizard is living right under your brow. So let's go see the wizard, the wonderful Wizard of Iz." When the 4 horses, Lichten, Sounden, Namen, and Nectar, with the chariot Verity that carried them to, they reached the narrow gate, and the gate flew open, and the sound of bells and trumpets announcing their arrival to the wizard, who loved them dearly, even more, if possible, than Humble and his beloved grandchild. The 4 horses, Liechtenstein and Namen and Nectar, then carried the chariot Verity to the center of the kingdom, where the wizard lived, where the crown was, with the wizard sitting upon it. The crown was diamond encrusted. After presenting the gift of the humble heart to the wizard, the good King Humble asked for the wizard's help for his grandchild, Sophie. The wizard smiled. He knowingly smiled at Sophie and said, "Yes, I can help you by giving you the 2 magic words. But I will not give them to you, for I fear you will not use them." Sophie was very disappointed. As you can tell, as you can well imagine, after her long journey. And now her hopes seemed dashed forever. "Oh, please, wizard, please tell me the magic words that will cure my boredom. My heart is broken. I faithfully promise to use the words as you say. I will use them if only you will give them to me." The wizard started to relent. Then he stopped and said, "Well, how could I be sure you mean what you say?" And Sophie, remembering what her grandfather did, she said, "I will give you my humble heart." And she gave her humble heart to the wizard. And then he said, "Now I know you are sincere, and I will tell you the magic words. Are you ready for this?" And Sophie said, "Yes, yes, yes, please." And the wizard said, "They are goodbye." Sophie seemed quite confused. As you could well imagine, she asked, "But does that mean that I must say goodbye to everything?" "Everything," said the wizard. "Even the things I love?" "Especially the things you love," said the wizard. And then the wizard said, "Bring me Katie, and I will explain to you, Sophie. Katie, the great green caterpillar who laid her head at the wizard's feet." He then said lovingly, "Goodbye, Katie." And lo and behold, the giant green caterpillar transformed into a magnificent, multicolored, breathtakingly beautiful butterfly. Whereupon King Humble and Sophie said goodbye to the wizard and found themselves transported by Liechtenstein and Namen and Nectar and the chariot Verity back to the kingdom of Iz. Sophie said goodbye to everything and everyone she loved dearly. And to her delight, they were quickly transformed into things even more wonderful than Katie the butterfly. Finally, Katie said goodbye to boredom and lived happily ever after. And so, children, good night and goodbye.